travelers, Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're going to be chatting about travel. Jocelyn is at a cabbie party, for you that knows what those are. She's there, and I'm here to talk to you wonderful travelers. So, Dominic, thank you. So we're working. Is it okay? All right, okay, good to see. So today was actually a really cool day. I actually got to be interviewed on a morning show at a local news channel. If you want to check that out, go to our news feed or our community feed on our channel, and you can watch it on there. I got to talk about a little bit about what we got started. You get to see me hugging a big custard from Culver's, so that was pretty fun. But it was a good time. It was very interesting. I was interviewed by this TV channel a few weeks ago, and they asked us to come on and chat with them. And I'm like, sure. They're like, oh, come on this Wednesday. I'm like, well, I'm going to be in New Orleans this Wednesday. Well, next week. Well, we're Belize week after that. Well, I'm in London. So I just got back on late Monday night from VidCon. And so I taught on Tuesday, and that's when the Culver's ice cream or custard cone showed up. And then, so then today, my morning show is that. That's why voice is like this. I've been going. So it's been crazy. So, hey, everybody, I'll say hi to everybody that's going through here real quick. Because I know a lot of you have been on here and asking questions and stuff like that. So I'll say hi in Arlington, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, Autumn Rose, how's it going? Port Arkansas, Texas, good to see you. Hi, and everybody in Denver, India. Where else we got? India, there's another one. U of I people, hello from Dubai, hello from the UK, hello from Philadelphia, Michigan, Vancouver. We really appreciate all of you from all over the world that write in and say hi. So it's really an awesome thing. Now, someone at the top had asked, at the very beginning, they asked, hey, what about going to, what about like Cuba or Venezuela and stuff like that? I don't really have a problem with going to Cuba. We're trying to put something together for that. Venezuela, I would not go to right now. It is an issue. So I would say, I would maybe go to Colombia instead. Colombia is nice, especially say in the north. The beaches there are really great. Maybe put together a Panama and Colombia kind of mix. That would be kind of cool. Hey, from Kansas City, Ottawa, always good, always good. So I'll try to get some questions here. So one, Mia writes, hey, what item should you avoid wearing if you don't want to look like an American tourist? Well, one of the things that you have to realize is how you walk and how you act will give you away a lot of the times. But actually what Johnson and I noticed is actually the shoes. The shoes are one of the biggest things. Like we were at my work today, and we were talking to students, and Johnson goes, that guy's from Europe, but you could tell from the shoes. So Johnson would advise you, if you want to fit in best, go buy some shoes where you're going to be going traveling, and that will help you out. So that's one way to kind of do it. Because when you buy clothes from that country, it really does show up like you look like the locals. It helps out. Okay, another person, OG writes, with all the crazy weather out there and numerous cancellations, you should remind the viewers that delayed flights from Europe are entitled to higher compensation for affected travelers. That is true. If you are in an airport in Europe, you will see a lot of posters around saying what your compensation will be from all those from delays, lost bags, and stuff like that. And you may not care because you're like, oh, I'll get my stuff eventually. No, those are there to protect you as a traveler. So don't ever think twice about that. Go and ask those things. Okay. Let's see. Tamaya Michelle writes, when are you coming to India? We're looking for maybe end of 2020, 2021 to go there. I might go with a buddy of mine before that, but we're going to do a family one there because I think that's a really cool thing. Because we're trying to think about putting in like India and Nepal and Bhutan. Try to put like all those three together and stuff like that. Gustavo just wrote me, hey, why not El Salvador or Honduras? Actually, we were just in Guatemala and Belize. And so we have different times of the year we can go do some of these shorter trips and stuff like that. So right now, our February trip, like week-long trip is for 2020 is actually going to be El Salvador and stopping over in Honduras and Guatemala, like maybe get back to Guatemala too, because I really like Guatemala. So Gustavo, don't worry, we're going to get there because we really enjoy Latin America and Central America and South America. And not a lot of vloggers really cover it. And I think a lot of people could really enjoy it if they go down there because the people are super nice. You have so much fun. And if you have got kids, a lot of it's outdoor stuff. So you can have a really fun time. So Annie in Melbourne, good to see you. Akiro in Tokyo, hey, good to see you there. Charles in Hong Kong. Oh, you're going to Hong Kong 2 weeks. Very cool, very cool. Maros is going to Paris, Bordeaux, Madrid, Lisbon in March. I wish I was going with you. Okay, the weather, Lisbon will be great. Madrid could be a little chilly sometimes. Paris, probably a little rain. What we do with weather when we're going to go travel, like we look at the 10-day forecast a couple days out before we leave, and that's when we pack to base it off there because you never know. It might be like a really cold snap, or like this summer in Europe, we're super hot. So just always check that out a couple days before you go. Do that 10-day forecast. So JK 1776 asks, do you have a countries I've visited map? Not only would be envious, it would be help us asking questions. Actually, in our house upstairs, we actually have a bit like one of those big, huge maps that came in a frame, and we put pins in there. And there's different pins based on who went. So if it's like all four of us went, it's a white pin. If it's just me, it's a blue pin. If it's just Jocelyn, it's a red pin. If it's the two of us with Caleb, it's a green pin. So there's different ones like that. So we do have that. And we have the scratch-off mats for each of us, but the one that's hanging up on the walls upstairs, we have those things. Jose Pereira, meu amigo. It's great to see tourism in Portugal as high as it is, but tourists stealing azulejo tiles off a building is still a problem. Please, wherever you go around the world, don't steal and have respect. Jose actually brings up a good point. This is one of the things we've seen where people, like you'll see where they'll protect artwork and they'll protect statues, and people still go around it to like go feel the statue or go feel the artwork, or yeah, people do take stuff. And I've seen people, our old place in Lisbon had the tiles on the outside, and we would see people just kind of like tap, 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 trying to get one of those off. So be respectful for the places you go. And I'm going to guess if you're watching this live feed, you are not the people doing that. So I'm not really not talking to you, but that is one of the issues. And so sometimes we as tourists need to, see other tourists like, hey, knock that off, man. Come on. Because so that other tourists in the future can enjoy that. All right. Now let's see. So I hope that helps, Jose, but thank you for bringing up that topic. So Mossy from Sydney, Australia. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. That's really nice to hear. Shelley's heading to London in April. Any special out of the ordinary place you recommend to visit? I would say go out of the city, go do a day trip, because you can get to like, even if you just sign up with a tour that hits Stonehenge in the morning and Bath in the afternoon, can really give you a nice experience just to get out, because there's so many easy day trips from London, whether you're like going to Oxford or you're going to a Cambridge or Brighton or something like that. It is really nice to do because you kind of get overwhelmed with the cityness of London. I mean, I love London. I was just there for this conference, and I was sad that I had to be in the conference for 4 days and I didn't get to enjoy much of the city. But the thing is just go out and see a little bit more. Even if you go to Hampton Court, which is where like Henry VIII had his stuff, it's kind of cool to see the back, the woods and the city, not the city, but like the countryside and stuff like that. It's really cool. Going out to Canterbury, just the ride out there will show you some pretty cool stuff. So Henry Martinez and Kevin, thank you very much, both of you. Henry writes, Hola Mark, have you tried a pupusa, which is an El Salvadoran dish, a thick ham and tortilla based on a dough made out of corn or rice? Actually, I have, like as you had described it. I didn't know that was what it's called, but yes, we have had that. It actually was pretty good. The boys were a little less adventuresome on that one, but they did try it. Let's say hi. Oh, thank you, Liam. Come say hi. Liam's here with me today. I think Jocelyn just drove up. So you want to see if Mom came home? So he's here. He's got his PJs on for you. So there is that. Kevin, no question. Just keep up the good work. Thank you, Kevin. That really means a lot to us. Thank you so much. And that's one of the things. You all help support us to do these things. And it's not just, I mean, believe me, the super chats make a big difference. They really do help out. But just getting the highs from Duluth and the good evening, Mark, and thanks for what you do really makes a really big impact on us, and I'm really glad to see that we're helping other travelers. And that's one thing we really enjoy, because that's the thing we set out to do with Wolters World, is we want to help other travelers. Because if behind me, we have books and books and guidebooks. There's some great guidebooks, but sometimes they're not so great, and we're just like, let's just find ways that we can help travelers as best we can, and knowing that we're helping, it really makes a big difference. So thank you for all that. Hey, Daniel Barrett, new subscriber, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So Barbara Leinhardt actually asked a good question. She says, what do you do with luggage when arriving early in a city before hotel check-in? Actually, what I'll do is, well, it depends where we're going to go. Like, let's say if I'm flying into a big city, but I'm going to go to some other town later in the day, I will go to the train station and use their left luggage and leave it there. Then I'll grab my train later and see stuff. Otherwise, I'll actually go to my hotel, drop off our stuff there, and then go explore the city. And then we don't come back at 3. We might come back at 9, because like they already know we're there. We can't get a room yet, but they can hold our stuff. So like, for example, when I was in London this last week, my flight got in at 6 o'clock in the morning. And so I'm like, I kind of know we can't check in. I got to the hotel probably about 8 in the morning. They're like, look, we'll take your bags for it. It's no problem. We obviously can't check you in yet. There's no space left, but we can definitely let you in. or later on, and I actually ended up giving them my stuff, and I went to the conference, did some other stuff, came back at 10 o'clock at night. They gave me all my stuff, and it was fine. So that's what we usually end up doing. So, and your hotel will be fine. That's one of the problems with Airbnbs is you don't have that option to drop stuff off early. So when you're booking your tickets, make sure you're kind of planning for what am I going to do. So sometimes what we'll do is when we have like a really long flight or we're not sure how things are going to work, we will actually book an extra night in the hotel like the night before and tell them, look, we're not going to be there the night before. We're going to get it at 6 in the morning. So then we can get in and have like an hour and a half nap or something like that, shower up, and then go enjoy the city. All right. So when we'll be back in the UK? Well, I will be back in the UK, and Jocelyn's here now. I'll be back in the UK at the end of this summer with my mom. We're going to Edinburgh to the Edinburgh Festival, and then we're going to go to the Shetland Islands to go see where our family's from, because my mom found the church she worked at, and they like 300 years ago, and found his grave and stuff. So we're going to check those things out. So that's kind of cool. So, what else?
Hi, sorry I'm late.
So, if Cisco 1, greetings, Mark. I'm planning on doing some solo traveling. How do I go about taking pictures of myself in them? Well, it sounds silly, but like doing the selfie thing, you can always do that. But actually, what's worked for me is just asking people. You'll see, like, whenever I see a couple and they're like trying to get a picture, I'm like, hey, would you like a picture together? You know, and usually what'll happen is they'll gladly take a picture together. I'm like, hey, could you take one of me? Because most of the time people just offer back to you, hey, would you take a picture of us? You know, I'd glad to do it for you. Actually. So we'll do that. Liam. We have to get us some Kinder stuff. So
mini Kinder.
That's one thing. I actually have a tripod. That's how I film my videos. So I'll get a couple pictures like that. But I know it's kind of tough sometimes when you're a solo traveler. But that's what helps. You're like going to hostels and stuff, and you meet people to go travel with you, go around for the day. You like make a travel buddy for the day. That can help out. Jocelyn.
CD asks, what's the best way to plan a hike in the Scottish Highlands? So we love hiking in the Highlands. We went all over the place, and I can't tell you how to plan it because we didn't plan a bit of it. We just we drove, we stopped, we saw something beautiful, we started hiking, and quite frankly, it's easy to do. So there are tour groups I'm sure that you can join, and so you might have to do a little research on that. But it's full, it's everywhere. So just go do it, I think. All right, so let's see. Hang on. Sorry. Hi, Henry. I don't know. I don't know what Mark has answered here or not. So this is difficult. What do you? Oh, I think he was just answering that. What to do with luggage when you arrive early in a hotel? So yeah, they'll take it. All right. I'm sorry. Portuguese citizen.
All this silence. Is she not helping you people with
I'm
your
not, because I don't know what you've answered, and so I'm trying to read.
Just gonna. Did you get
I'm
Jose?
Sorry. Okay. Jose's in here. Hey, hola. Tudo bem?
So on the plus side, I think my next vacation would be Calgary, Alberta, with stops in Banff. If I can, Edmonton and Jasper National Parks in October. Yeah, Jose, you can do those. By the end of November, though, be careful with the driving.
The weather's going to be rough.
Yeah, I mean, I was almost up in Calgary and Banff for a conference this last November, and they were like, well, we're not sure if you'll work, so we don't take a chance because you'll have limited time. So do have a heads up for that, but you should be okay.
Yeah, watch the weather. The earlier you can go, the better.
So Tanmaya Mishra writes, hi, Wolters World. Are your videos mostly directed for American travelers? Not necessarily. We try to guide for all travelers. I would say about only 40% of our views actually come from the US. The rest is coming from around the world. So we try to like give stuff for everybody. That's why we try to make kind of like open to all cultures and all those all cities and all cultures and stuff like that. And of course, some of the things, I mean, it will be more geared towards Americans in terms of what's like shocking or the don'ts, because that's a culture we come from. But we try to give a lot of other stuff out there.
That person. Dollar asks how to ship souvenirs home. So I have found that a lot of places will they'll ship for you. So if they have larger things or whatnot, they will go and do it for you. And post works anywhere. And There are certain posts that we have used. What Post Italia tends to be really slow, but I always get my stuff, so that's okay as long as you get your stuff.
Yeah, Deutsche Post was okay too. It's more expensive though, but
FedEx, UPS, DHL, those are pretty much almost everywhere in the world, and so use if you need to go do it yourself, use somebody that's reputable, and that'll make it easy.
Yeah, and one thing I'd say, if it's super valuable to you, I would keep it with you. If you're going around, but sometimes you can't. So
if you're shopping in an antique store and that's they do, they'll ship it for you.
If they'll ship it for you, I would definitely look at having them ship it for you. It makes life so much easier. Yep. Sam FW, best place for me and my mom. I'm 15. I would say if you want to do the Europe, I would say Paris and London. Are easy ones to do, and you can have a nice time with that. And you both have stuff for both age groups to enjoy. Probably Lisbon if you're looking for bigger cities. If you want more doing fun stuff together, I would say Belize, Costa Rica, those kind of ones. Central America stuff are pretty fun to do as well. Excuse me. So Croatia's in the house. Yes, Croatia's always in the house. We got that. Have we visited Dubai? We'll get there. Looking at maybe hopping over there. Not
2020.
2020
is
so
what we've talked
our
about.
2020, we're trying to this year we're getting because we were going to Rwanda and Tanzania. We're doing a lot of Caribbean and Central America. We're trying to get places because now we have a lot of Europe videos. We're trying to get some more stuff to show more parts of the world. So we're working on it. We're working on it. So Brandon Donsfeld asks, best time to go to South America. I would say probably February because you're gonna have summer weather. And the rainy seasons are usually done by then. So that would be the hot,
it won't be really crazy hot, though.
In March, February.
Yeah,
because January's can be really, really hot, but sometimes the rains might still be there depending where you are. So things like that.
Eva or Eva, I don't know. It asks if we would recommend a day trip to Luxembourg. We're actually going to do that this summer for a second.
Yeah, and I've been to Luxembourg. One of my good friends, Isabel, works there, and I went and visited her. She's there, her husband. They got a couple kids. Super wonderful person. And I went to visit them, and there was a sign in the main city, Luxembourg, in the park. It said, born to be mild. And that would be a good example of what Luxembourg is. Very mild. You can actually, it's kind of expensive to stay there, so you could actually stay in Germany or France and then go over for day trips in. That could be one way to do it. But it's pretty nice in general.
Can you answer this about the top 3 college majors I don't know if that's exactly Azorish or...
I lost that one. Hold on one sec.
It ran off.
Hold on. Well, let me answer Henry's real quick. Henry, thanks again. Mark and Jocelyn want to explore all the main attractions and sites of Chicago and stay downtown. Is 7 nights enough? Yeah, 7 is more than enough. I would say you need 3, to get to all the museums, I would say 3 days downtown.
Maybe 4.
Maybe 4, but you can go explore some more stuff. So I would say 4 or 5.
To get out of the city and see a couple things because there's some cool stuff outside, in some of the suburbs and stuff. So, yeah, max 5, 7's definitely good.
That'd be a little overkill, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. So you could go up to Milwaukee. You got some extra time. It's easy to get up there. There's a really nice museum right on the water and some good beer there too. So we have that.
Okay, so this I went to move to Portugal.
Where's this?
3 top college majors available to do there.
Okay, so Kinza Miss is asking, she wants to get Portuguese citizenship and wants to move there. What are the top 3 college majors to be able to use there? If you're going to Portugal, I would say majors that actually help people to live abroad, business degrees, because there's always work for business. If you're looking at English language, that's another one. And then ISIT. So if you're doing any computer programming stuff, that is anywhere. And you could be a digital nomad, but live in Portugal while you do that. So those would be the ones I would say. Let's see.
Okay, Tokyo. Going to Tokyo, and I don't really like Japanese food.
Good luck. Actually, I would say this.
They have such amazing food.
Yeah, you'll be surprised how it sounds silly, but going to 7-Eleven is their 7-Eleven, their sushi at 7-Eleven is better than anything we have anywhere near we live. I mean, it's crazy how much stuff they have there, and you can get food you get anywhere in the world, so don't worry about that. So you
get other food.
Yeah, you won't starve to death. Don't worry.
No, and Tokyo is so cool. It's totally amazing. So yeah.
Yeah. So Barney asks, any tips for renting cars, especially in the U.S.? You got to be over 25, otherwise pay a huge fee. And if you're going to drop it off someplace else, there might be a fee there. But definitely, you want to make sure your insurance is taken care of. Now, if you're in the U.S. and you have a car in the U.S. and you have insurance doesn't necessarily mean that it'll cover your rental car insurance. So you need to ask your insurance provider, double check to make sure your insurance provider gives you insurance for that.
We actually changed our insurance policy
like
so that we would have that coverage wherever we go.
Yeah, like we were going to Enterprise to go get the car, and we're like, hey, do we have that? No. They're like, could we get it right now? Sure.
Yeah, we fixed it up
when is it active? When does it activate? Oh, right now. I'm like, oh, good, because we're pulling into their parking lots. That works.
Janelle asks, 2 adults looking to take a 2-week trip to a single city in May. Where would you recommend? Lisbon, Prague, Dublin, or Valencia? So
Lisbon or Prague.
I was going to go with Lisbon or Prague. And actually I would do them in the order that you've written them. So Lisbon was my first, then Prague, then Dublin, and then Valencia. And Lisbon is great because there are small towns nearby. And you can absolutely go to other little towns for, an afternoon or something if you get tired of Lisbon and whatever, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. You want to have, if you're going to go stay at one city for like, it kind of goes.
It's nice to have an option.
Yeah, it's like what Henry was saying before. It's like 7 days in Chicago. I'm like, yeah, you could, but you need to do some other things. That's why like places like Paris and Paris, I'd say Paris, Lisbon, Madrid are all really good places to make a base city so you can see the stuff there. But then you have plenty of day trips so you can see so many other things to look at that. So Tony and your wife, I'm glad. So he writes, this is my wife's choice for movie date night. You okay, Liam? Liam's watching Teen Titans Go and was acting it out and just took out something. So Tony and your wife, I'm glad that we could be a part of your movie night. So cheers to you and the popcorn.
I'm glad you're having date night. Guess what? This is our date night.
That's right. I've been gone for the last week and I'm spending with you guys. And her, I guess. But she was at that cabbie party, so I mean, I know where I stand.
It's shopping with girlfriends and margaritas.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yes.
No, don't take the azulejos.
No, we talked about before.
That's funny.
Because there's people taking them in Lisbon.
Oh, no. For real?
Yeah, for real.
Oh, I thought that was a joke. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Emperor King writes, Mark, how was Guatemala? Guatemala was a lot safer than I thought it was going to be. Like,
it was, we were all surprised. As a matter of fact, his birthday is coming up in a few months. And he said, I want to come here for my birthday. It was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad we were spending more time there. Like,
the people were, but I've always known this about Guatemalans. They're just like the most laid back, chill, easygoing people.
Chill.
It was really awesome.
Cool. It was really awesome. So we'll go back. Yep. Obviously, like Guatemala still does have some issues. You're going to go there, but like Antigua and going to Lake Atitlan and Flores, the island of Flores by Tikal, where we filmed our Guatemala videos from, the Mayan ruin stuff. It's really kind of a cool place, and so it's really gotten a lot better. So Jen Huang writes, is Paris better now? Protest, pickpocket stuff. We'll be there for a week, late April. Thanks, you guys.
April in Paris.
It is very nice there. I would say, Jen, awesome. Saturdays is usually when the yellow vests go out, so maybe plan for like a day trip out on Saturdays, so you're not like at any of the main places where it's going to happen. I would imagine probably some things will still be going on. It won't be as big as it is. And it hasn't been like a super violent protest kind of stuff. So that's a good thing for a traveler, but like you'll see some stuff will close down in the major cities, like in Paris. So maybe look for a day trip, or maybe like get your stuff done in the morning and then have the afternoon where you're just like chilling out at your hotel or something like that. But it's really like only in certain areas, so you should be okay. And by then, I mean, your hotel will tell you what you should probably do because it's been going on for so long. So the pickpocket things, I mean, the pickpockets are always there.
That's travel.
That will be long dead and gone. That stuff will still be going on there. So there's that. Yeah. So
a couple of people have asked us about Russia, and I really want to get back because Mark's been to Moscow, but the kids and I have not, and I really want to get there. So yes, it's a destination. I just don't know when we're gonna make it, because we're always batting around 1,000 places, but it's definitely in the batting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Coppin writes, is Bucharest worth visiting? I would say, if you're going to go to Romania, go to the Tasmania part, because that's the really historic buildings and stuff like that, like really cool towns and stuff. That, for me, is the best part of Romania. Bucharest itself, it's like you can tell it got like Ceausescu really built the city up to what he wanted it. It's not that great. But having said that, there's some really cool museums there, like the Folk Museum. And there's a outdoor museum there where they took buildings from all over the country and put it there, so you can really see a lot of history of Romania there. So that's kind of a cool thing.
Sean Riddle is dating a girl from Greece, and he wants some advice. I'm going to give you some advice. Don't get between her What did you say?
Nothing. I'm going to get a beer. I love you.
Don't get between her and her family. She's always right. And also, you better get some bigger pants because she's going to feed you.
Yeah, I've put on 100 and some odd pounds since we got married. Just
horrible
FYI.
wife.
Wonderful wife.
But a great cook.
Yes. You're a wonderful wife, too. So there's that. Nick writes, hey, Mark and Jocelyn, how do you both get so much time off to travel? I'm a professor in my day job. And so I always have like the 4-day weekend. So if I can do a short trip, I'll do that. Also, we get the holidays we take every time we can. And we also prioritize our travel. That's how we pay for a lot of it because like we don't have cable. And if you don't have cable, there's an extra $200 a month. That's $2,400 a year. I mean, that's our trip to Belize. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what you got to do. Yes, Eric, I do have a PhD. I have a PhD in management from the Technical University of Lisbon, which is now the University of Lisbon. And so I'm a professor. I'm a teaching associate professor right now.
Amy H. asks if it's okay for men to wear shorts in Italy in June because her husband might not go if he can't.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
But don't mention the churches.
She's got that there you're aware that you have to wear pants in churches. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you. There's a couple of things. First of all, not basketball shorts. That's not cool. That won't fly. But like decent shorts, like cotton, like whatever, you know what I'm talking about. But I have bought Mark a couple of pairs of pants. I think they also make some in shorts, but from Duluth Trading Company, and I don't remember the name, but they're amazing and they're breezy, like air flows through them. And Mark has fallen in love with these pants. He takes them on all of our trips. And so when you do have to wear pants in a warm place, they're a really easy thing to throw on. They've got a good little funky zipper on one side. Don't be showing people that. So you can actually hide some stuff in a little funky pocket where, like maybe an extra.
Well, let me tell you how, because I'm a bigger guy and I wear these things. So these really thin ones, they dry fast. They're easy to use. They breathe. And they don't get too hot, and it looks like nice and fancy. And they're not like bulky, so you actually fit in better in Europe if you're going to wear these.
Yeah, like
I would say.
Cargo pants and cargo shorts are kind of a no-no, not a thing. But if just straight shorts are fine. I want to say khaki, but
no pleats. Not so many pleats. I don't know how old you are. If you look like you're as old as I look, then think of it that way. Anyway, moving on. Chino shorts, yeah. Jose's back. This is for a 4-2 beatdown. Benfica paddled us a few weeks ago. That's right, Jose.
Mwah.
That's so
you know
bad.
what? That was really kind of you.
Yeah, to let us know and to admit that you cheered for the wrong team that time. So thank you.
He always cheers for the wrong team. It's okay.
Dalice Luz. Any plans on traveling to Southeast Asia? Yes, actually, I have a stack of books right over there. We were actually doing research for it. We were supposed to go there this summer. I'm not kidding. Like, it was going to be like Southeast Asia, Australia. We're going to do a big trip. And then we got a phone call. My host brother, like where he lived in Brazil, and he lived with my family in the U.S. And this dude, like for years, said, I'm going to get married. They are family. They are a family. Like, I mean, I'm closer with him than my parents in some ways. And then he writes like, we're getting married and you have to be there. I'm like, oh, when is it? He's like, it's in July. And I'm like, well, there goes all our stuff. And so we ended up going to South America for 3 or 4 weeks. So it was great to go for the wedding, but that kind of threw our Southeast Asia stuff out. And so now we're trying to figure out, like, get everything placed back in. That's why our 2020 could be anything almost. So we're getting a lot of stuff in this time. I have not been to Liverpool, by the way.
I was just going to answer the Liverpool, but one of our dear friends is from Liverpool originally. Would we ever go to Antarctica? Good God bless, yes.
Yes, we would.
But you know what? Like, here's the kicker with Antarctica. You can have it all set up and you're ready to go, and then the weather turns and you're not able to get there. This actually happened to a friend of mine, and his parents were taking him and his brother, and they had 4 tickets. Weather turned. They couldn't go. That was all the money. Like they lost it. So I need to have a cushion to be able to do that. Be able to take that risk.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. And there was one up here. What's your favorite country in the Baltics? I lived in Lithuania for 3.5 years, so I'm all about Lietuva, my friend. But I would say like the best city to visit as a tourist, if you only got like a weekend to go, it would actually be Tallinn. It's probably one of the prettiest cities in Europe. It's so just pretty. Gorgeous.
It's quaint as could be. Hang on. Somebody asked, make my day. The toilet seats in Italy and
Yeah, so
Greece.
make my day as, what happened to all the toilet seats in Italy and Greece? You'll notice that a lot of places, you'll go like public places, the toilet seats are gone. It's just the rim. So get used to your 3-point stance. That's all I'm going to say
Daniel
right there.
Keaton asked about a good place to take pictures at the Acropolis. So here's the trick with the Acropolis. You go early. There's no other way to do it without a gazillion people in your background. You go early or you go late.
You okay, Chum Chum?
Or possibly you go on the hottest possible day.
Yeah, like we did.
Because a lot less people are there. Well, the second, their third, fourth... One of the times we went and it was miserable hot. Greece was in the middle of a heat wave. What was that, 2 years ago? It was insane.
It's like 110. I thought I was going to die.
In the shade, it was 110.
There was no wind. There was
almost no one up there. I thought it was worth it.
Oh, it was worth it.
We have family pictures,
God.
and it's just us in the Acropolis.
Yeah, but
and to my little Greek heart, that was...
Yes, it was all for you, baby. I'm so glad you're happy. Why, thank you. I'm a sexy animal. Are we talking about that, Walters? I'm not sure. Mo Gaming, what was your question? Send it to me again. I lost it here. So Sarah Phillips says, get vacation insurance for sure. That's actually something we always pick up when we buy our plane tickets. We get the insurance as well. It can add on $50 to $200 per person. Well, not per person, but like something like that. But it's always a good idea. That's what I kind of always recommend people to do, especially if you are over 65 and you are on Medicare. They will not cover your stuff when you're abroad. So you have to buy the insurance when you go. You got to be ready for that. Okay, just to let you know that, okay? Best place to visit in Argentina, Buenos Aires, obviously, is number one. I actually like Bariloche. If you go there, it's up in the mountains. That was really cool. Mendoza, if you're not a big wine fan, you will be after you go to Mendoza. Puerto Madryn and Peninsula Valdez is this like little peninsula that pops out. You can go whale watching and see penguins. It's just a really cool thing.
What's your favorite part of traveling?
Being with you. You're the best. Yes. Aside from being with her, my favorite part of travel is just like meeting new people and seeing the cultures. That's one of the coolest things.
I love to meet new people. It's my favorite.
So, Welch, have I ever been to Fort Worth, Texas? I've driven through there, and that's the first time I ever had someone pass me going like 200 miles an hour. I was driving down. My dad used to work in Mexico. We were driving from Illinois to Mexico in one go. And so it was like 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 in the morning. And I'm driving, and I see this light in the back, and I see... I was like, oh my God, that was a Ferrari Lamborghini. I'm not sure. It was just crazy. Henry, all right. Thank you again, Henry. Really appreciate it. You are the biggest super chatter ever, and we really appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thoughts on why countries like Costa Rica, Argentina, Uruguay are more expensive than Mexico? Is inflation, imports? I think a lot of it's inflation. Well, it's different. I would say Costa Rica is because there's so many tourists have gone there, and a lot of American tourists have gone there to retire.
Driven up the price. I don't know how Costa Ricans live.
Yeah, I don't know how they make it. Argentina, well, actually, Argentina is really cheap now because the peso has completely crashed. But back in the day, Argentina was really expensive because they had a 1-to-1 dollarization, but they had inflation. So it was insanely expensive there.
But we were just Uruguay, there this summer.
Yeah, no, that's before. So like now it's fine. Uruguay had it because they just followed along with Argentina. That's why they were more expensive. Whereas Mexico's had to be more stable the whole time. It hasn't had as many of the fluctuations.
But Argentina and Uruguay are probably somewhat more expensive than Mexico. But it wasn't. At least in my opinion, it wasn't horribly so. I mean, it was definitely more, but it wasn't it wasn't crazy.
Yeah. Oh, and back to Welch. Actually, I'm looking at going to the Dallas Travel Show this year. So hopefully we get down to Fort Worth and Dallas and see all those things there. So another Henry Raniera. Hi there, I'll be in Italy for 5 weeks in April. Wondering if learning basic Italian before I leave matters with the different dialects as we travel. Actually, if you're just learning the basics, I would recommend that because just knowing the basics. Yeah. Like the Italians, like if they'll talk to you anyway. If you don't understand, they'll still talk to you,
and you'll get some of it.
Yeah, and
because of all the hand gestures.
Yes, and the thing is when they actually talk to you, what's cool is like if you just speak a little, that like puts their like friendliness and happiness to talk to you like to the next level. And it's made it amazing because when I only had a little bit of Italian, I was amazed how much better people were. Not that they were treating me bad in the first place, but just how much more welcoming and warming they were. And then once
they're welcoming anyway. Yeah. But the minute you try,
it goes a long way.
So do take a basic Italian class, and it'll be cool.
Yeah, and since you're leaving in April, you've got 5 weeks to do it. You could just do some stuff on like Interlingua or one of those things online
Duolingo.
here, Duolingo, and do that for there, just so you can do some basic stuff right there, and that just really opens people up. And that's not just Italy. That's anywhere in the world. You speak their language, or you try, just trying goes a long way.
If you speak Spanish or Portuguese or something, it's a lot easier to slip into the Italian. Like, I don't speak Italian, but I understand maybe like 30 to 40% of it. And so being able to do that and say just a few basic verbs and that makes it amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So S.D. Williams writes, hi, how do you choose a home base when traveling around an area? What things do you do? Do you consider? So for a home base, like in a city, we look at, obviously, location. Is it near public transportation we can use? Is it, if it's a town smaller, is it close enough we can just walk into town? So we're kind of looking at how much time we're going to save. Because I've never felt it was really worth it to stay at a cheaper hotel way out of town. Because if I got to take a taxi back, it kind of negates the...
Especially if you're doing it for several days on end.
Yeah, it kind of loses its benefit. So we look at locations of public transportation and just other things there. But also a base... We look for a base. We look for, is there a lot of other stuff we can do from there that's not too far away, like a lot of day trip stuff. Like the Paris that's an easy one. Munich, you go to a lot of places from there. Or actually, you can use some of the places by Munich as a base, then go to Munich or go to Regensburg, go to Bamberg or Salzburg and stuff like that.
I also kind of take into consideration the airports nearby. If I can get, because we like to string random places together. Like this summer, we're doing a couple places in Europe and then throwing Africa in the middle. So it's nice to be able to have something where, if the mood strikes, you can get on a plane and go somewhere else too, just to do it. And so that's my thing.
So Hawk Daddy, thank you. I'm glad it looked okay on TV. So that was it was fun to be on TV this morning and talk to people.
It was fun to watch him. I made some faces.
Yeah, so that was kind of interesting.
I was like, and he kept a straight face.
I did.
Such a good man.
So Brandon Wise asked, thoughts on Moon Palace Cancun? I've actually stayed there. It's out of Cancun. Like you're way down, so you're not necessarily in the tourist zone. You're way down. So if you want to go spend your time and go into Cancun, you're far from that. It's not like the normal tourist zone stuff where you're going to go out and walk around and see stuff. But it's relatively closer to the airport, and if you're going to go to where the water park is, it's not too far from there. But it's more like if you're going to stay at the Moon Palace, you're really going to be at the Moon Palace. So I'll give you a heads up for that one.
GP Music. Will you ever come to Australia?
Of course. Of course.
Here's my dream. I would love to take like 3 or 4 months and do Southeast Asia and Australia and New Zealand all together.
Sick.
I don't know how we're going to do that at a decent weather time with the kids' school schedule and with Mark's school schedule. So it'll happen. We're getting there.
Yes.
Dagnabbit, we're getting there.
So Chuck Draper, Beijing and Shanghai, both really cool. I taught in Beijing. It was really fun. Jocelyn really loved Shanghai. I'd go back.
Shanghai was so cool. Like that was my jam. Loved it. Yeah, Beijing was very overwhelming for me. Part of that was because Liam was 2, Caleb was 6, Mark was teaching. So I was on my own, and we were not in a tourist area, so there was no English. And it's not even like in Western letters that I could even try to comprehend something. So that was really difficult. But if you're in the tourist area, Beijing's a little bit more like on a human level, right?
Yeah.
Human scale.
So some quick answers to some of the questions just kind of flew by. Let's see. Tim asked, if you would stay in Germany for 3 months for a visit time, where would you stay? I would probably go to Berlin. But as a tourist, probably Munich would be better. But I would go for Berlin. I just love the city. Have you been to Israel? We have not been yet, but we'll be there later this year. We have our tickets. It's all set up, so we're going there. How do you make friends when traveling solo? I just talk to people. And the people are like, okay, you seem weird, but if they think you're weird, well, they probably want to talk too. And so we make some friends that way. How many travels did we do in 2018? I was gone every single month somewhere.
No, we stayed home the whole month of August, all of us.
We did?
Yes, we did.
I went to like Carbondale's. I guess it wasn't. I didn't go to, that's true. I had 1 month last year. I did not.
Shut up. That doesn't count.
Which was like the first month off since like
But he's
2015.
drinking in a cabin, so it doesn't count.
That's vacation too.
21 Scarlet Fever. What do you recommend for Americans to know before traveling to Greece for the first time? So I want to talk to you, and I want to tell everyone in the world about this. When you drive in Greece, if you drive in Greece, 1, you have to have an international driver's license. It doesn't matter where you're from or what you're doing, you need to have an international driver's license too. No matter how many lanes there are on the highway, there's at least 2 more. So like you'll find
the
Greeks.
curb is, or the shoulder is
The shoulder is a place where people drive. So just stay as far right as you can, and people will pass you. That's something you should really know. Also know that in Athens, the traffic is mad insane. Don't drive there. And take care when crossing the street. It's mad, absolutely mad. But they have really good, the metro is really easy to use there. So Greeks are really friendly and they like food.
Yes. Other questions. So somebody's asking what's going on underneath the table. My dog's down here and he's acting up. So I'm trying to keep him like chill. So that's why. Mo Gaming, what's your question? Did it show up again? I missed it. I've been looking for it, buddy. Like, will you answer my question? ... Here's my question again. Do that for me, buddy. Mike's vlog. Thanks for writing. So, best advice for 1 week trip to Munich: get an Airbnb. You got a day trip to Salzburg. Get the Bayern ticket. You can travel everywhere you want on regional trains with one price for as many, like up to 5 people. Salzburg's a great day trip. Regensburg, Nuremberg, Neuschwanstein. You got plenty of day trips you can do when you go there. I love Bamberg. It's a little bit farther to do for a day trip.
It's a bit far out, but it's nice.
But it's doable. It's worth it. So you can get some stuff there. So that's what I would say. And thank you for the super chat. That's really nice of you. Excuse me. Some other questions. Will we come to Abu Dhabi? Yes, we will be going to Abu Dhabi in the future. That's not a problem. William Sharlock, do your boys decorate the rooms with any souvenirs or pictures? Well, Liam's bedroom looks like, if you ever go to Lisbon during Santos, the Saints festivals in June, they have all these like
pennants
and flags and stuff like that.
I made him a gob of them and strung them up all over the ceiling.
Yeah, so they'll have some like soccer, the scarves and stuff like that. So
they
we
have
those
the
things.
Scarves. They also have their icons from Greece. They've got a few little things here and there. Yeah. So fun things to do in Dusseldorf. It's been too long since I've been there to really say. I'm sorry. I can't lie to you. It's been a long time. JS, do you guys do any European cruises? I actually had done a cruise. I did one for a French company. It was mostly for 80-year-old French people, but it was a fun tour. I had a nice time with it. But when you're gonna do cruises, what you need to realize is cruises, you're usually on a tour to go see a place, so it's a really quick in and out kind of stuff. So I think cruises are good to give you an idea of what's going on, and then later on you can go back on another trip and really spend more time to really get to know that country much better. Katniss writes, oh yeah, Mo Gaming, yeah, we'll go to Abu Dhabi, yeah. So Katniss writes, what's your opinion of EF tours? EF tours. I was with when I flew back from London Monday. There's a bunch of EF tour people right in front of me, and EF. I know they do it like EF does like educational stuff for students and things. And if you're not sure you want to do it on your own or you want to go with other students and stuff like that, you can use them. It'll be fine. They've contacted me about trying to do stuff with my students, but I like to set up my own tours for my students, so there is that. I'm sorry. I'm getting all these like not nice messages on here that I'm trying to like hide these people because you guys don't need to see crap like that. So Henry Raniera, thank you again for the super chat. One more question because I'm a pretty big fella. Nothing wrong with being a big fella. Any advice on denying aggressive street hustlers about me being aggressive or causing a heated situation? Just be like, no, and just walk away. Keep walking.
Like if they keep talking, you just keep walking away. And I mean, sometimes I just yell no, and then go off because believe me, you're the tourist and they're the scumbag. They're the one. Even the cops that don't do much will still be on your side. So just walk away because there'll be someone else they're going to harass later, and they might yell you.
Just keep walking.
Just keep walking. They're worthless. It's not worth worrying about it. Thanks. So
someone had asked about South Dakota. It's been a minute since I was there. I actually sold motorcycles at Sturgis. That was last time I was in the Dakotas, but so beautiful. Like there is, and even like the Badlands, there's just this incredible beauty there. And you know what? Our kids haven't been there, and we need to do that. We'll do a great Western road trip. We haven't done a good American road trip in a minute. Yeah. So we will soon. Yeah. So I'll text and write. Would we go to where did it disappear to? Morelia, Michoacan, Mexico? Probably. I don't know where that one is, so I have to look that one up. So there is that. Moving down. Let's see. We got some new ones here. Have you ever been to Hong Kong or Macau? No, not yet. So we will get there.
Emperor King, we will be getting to India. Don't worry, my friend. We'll have fun with that. Have you ever been to Tallahassee? I'm going to guess you've been to
I've been to
Tallahassee.
Tallahassee.
I've driven through Tallahassee.
It's been a minute. Like, I was probably 20 when I was there last.
Yeah.
I bet it's changed.
Oh,
I bet there's a lot
bit.
more drunk, crazy kids.
Probably. Charlie Baker, right. Best World War II historic sites in Europe. I will not lie to you, going to the D-Day
Normandy.
beaches in Normandy is a incredible moving experience.
Moving experience maybe I've ever had.
Yeah, go to the Omaha Beach Cemetery. They've developed a whole new visitor center where you have like the stories of what happened, and it's just
it is on such a personal level.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So MG writes, I'm 6'5" and pretty heavy. Will I have problems while visiting Spain or Italy? Do not get an Airbnb. I will tell you right now, because most Airbnbs I've stayed at in most places in Europe, they outfit their entire place with IKEA furniture, which is not made for anyone over like 200 pounds. It's kind of like, I make this joke all the time. I understand why there's no babies in Europe, because those beds can't handle baby making. So have a heads up for that one, okay?
Mark has been making this joke forever.
It's true. It's freaking true. Liam may have been born in Europe, but he was anyway. Moving on. Have you ever been to Zimbabwe? No, I have not been there. We have not been there yet. Audio visual. Love you guys. Love your trip adventures. But do you have any places you don't ever want to return to again? Maybe because of the government or traveling hassles. It's not even like I probably won't go to Kentucky Lake, even though they're not dry county anymore. But
we had a bad experience there. I don't think any of us can get past it.
Like that. There's some towns I'm like, unless I really have to go back, I mean, it's not going to be on top of my list. That's why a lot of times it's like, you know what? I don't want to revisit old places, because it's really got to like inspire us to really go and do that again. So code 4, do you use Uber? We do use Uber when we travel sometimes, because sometimes it's your only option.
Especially in small towns.
Yeah.
Like, you really have to. They don't have any other choice.
And like in Sao Paulo, they're like, you got to take Uber because it tracks you. And if you lose stuff, and they'll have drinks for you and stuff like that. So sometimes you do that. Or if you don't use Uber, Lyft, we've used those too as well. So
Heavy Bath. What a cool name. What do you say is the best way to prepare for a trip? Wolters World videos.
There you go.
You know what? Here's the thing. Mark loves Lonely Planet books. I love National Geographic Traveler books. And between those two, I feel like we completely cover everything as far as like research, because you get the history in one, you get like the logistics in the other. And so doing the two of those, we are very well prepared. Did you lose your tennis ball?
Hey, Dominic, you were asking about Americans driving or something like that. So where'd it go? Dominic, it'd be great if I got an answer. What would be the country for Americans to drive in? Oh, actually, for driving in, I would actually recommend going to Ireland or Scotland, because not a ton of people. You can drive on the other side of the road, which is kind of a crazy experience, but also really cool. That's where I'd recommend. And you get kind of used to driving on the other side of the road after about half an hour. Otherwise, you get in an accident, you're dead, so don't worry about it. No, I'm just kidding. But no, that's kind of a cool thing to do. Well, the train, have fun at tennis. Thanks for watching. Yes, Jocelyn is amazing. What's your favorite place to drink in Berlin? Going in 90 days. Actually, I used to take my school, where I went to school, was right by this bar at Hackischer Markt, and I would drink there. But that's a long time ago. So there's that.
Sarah just texted me, and I'm telling her I love you.
Hi, Sarah. Would you guys visit any other countries you haven't been to? Yes, we want to go to as many countries as we can. Actually, I would like to get the boys to 100 countries before they go to college.
That's a big goal.
It's a big goal. They're 12 and 7, and they still are going to go to school normally. So trying to plan it out how we can do that, because we don't just want to like pop in for like 30 seconds and leave. We want them to actually experience those cultures and meet people when we're there. So might not get there, but that's kind of one of those like overarching goals. We're kind of looking for stuff.
William, Cuba. I absolutely agree. And we think we have found a good way to do Cuba, possibly this coming winter. So we're going to cross our fingers and hope it happens.
Henry, thoughts on Uber being suspended in Barcelona? Well, I guess I could say it sucks if you have the Uber app. But here's the thing. A lot of taxi companies now in the bigger cities are coming out with their own apps, which are just like Uber apps. So it's the same thing. Because all that really did is it made the taxi drivers more accountable, because now they're getting tracked and stuff like that. So you have more information. Remember, information makes the buyer much more powerful because they know what's going on. Britain or Australia, more for beginner traveler? Probably Britain, because you can see more stuff in less travel time.
Yeah, it's so condensed. How do we travel with our kids if they're in school full time? So we take them on every time they have a long break. We might take an extra
Or short
day.
break.
Or short break. If they have a long weekend, we will maybe take an extra day on one end or the other, or both ends. Their teachers, we're really fortunate that their teachers are very supportive of that, because our kids they add so much, because like history class, they're like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. And so it's really
poor
huge.
Kale's got in trouble in multiple schools we've gone to. Like we put him in once when he went to like first grade, he was in a new school, and his first day, he's like, yeah, I've been to like so many countries, and the teacher's like, don't lie. And so first day comes out crying, I'm like, dude, what happened? And first grade, he tells us, and I took him back inside, told the teacher, I'm like, hey, this isn't right. Like he actually, we travel for a living, and he actually has been to all these countries. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, don't say sorry to me. Say sorry to him and say it in front of the class so the class doesn't think this new kid's a liar. And I'm like, that's not cool. And then he got in trouble again because he was in class and they're asking for like capital of countries, and he knew because he'd been there. And they're like, are you cheating? He's like,
because
no,
he wasn't using the atlas. The whole thing was about using an atlas. I'm like, well, a kid can use any kind of map. But anyway, what did I want to? I wanted to answer something on that. Oh, so we take him out like that, and we do that thing. But also, Mark will travel on his own. I'll travel on my own. You know, occasionally, like once every year and a half or 2 years, we go somewhere together.
No, blue moons are more often.
Oh yeah, the blue moons are about more often. So we do things without the kids occasionally, and you know, we have family and stuff that take care of the kids, so that's how we make it work.
Yeah. So, hi, Logan Ray. What's up? Not much. We're just chilling here. We would go to Hawaii, Emperor King. No problem with that. Getting a visa for Russia isn't so much of a hassle, but I recommend just using a service. It'll do it for you, to be honest. Your travel agent can help you out with that.
Okay, so I wanted to answer Murano and Burano. We all stayed as a family in Murano. Liam was a tiny baby, wasn't he? Oh my gosh. And y'all, we had 4 people, and one of them was like, he was months old, like maybe 2. Like, I mean, we're talking, we could have measured his life in weeks. And we had to get a room for 4. So be aware of that. Murano and Burano will still gouge you on prices.
Yeah, and one thing I would say, if you're going to go to one of the glass things, or you're going on a tour that includes the glass factories, remember, if you let's say you have a 4-hour tour of Venice, and they give you a tour of the glass factories, 2 of your hours are going to be there, and the glass blowing takes 15 minutes, and then they sit you in that damn like showroom for an hour, and you're like, I don't want to buy anything. Well, other people might want to. Let's give them more time. I had that with my I took students there, and they did that to me. Like, no, we're leaving now. Oh, well, I'm like, but then I'm like, you're getting a kickback. I'm paying you to do this. I'll give you more money. Let's go. Because you can tell I get frustrated with that kind of stuff. Because that's one of the things. To be sold. That's one of the things.
Marketing prof doesn't like marketing.
Yeah, like don't. No, I was like, don't try to sell me my own game. But one thing I would say is, anytime you're doing a group tour, they're always going to probably in a market or something like that. They're obviously getting some money back. That's why sometimes I prefer to do private tours. You pay up a bit, but then you can just have your own time. When they try to stick you in the gift shop, like, we're done, and they can't keep you going because, look, I paid for the whole thing myself. We're out of here. So you're not waiting for that one person that's trying to decide between 400 little glass things. Anyway, sorry, I went off on a really long tangent right there.
Best area in Rome to stay. So, you know, we've stayed all over Rome, I feel like.
Yeah, I would just stay near you can stay in Termini for cheap places, but if you want to stay downtown, don't stay out of town. Because you can walk all over Rome and save yourself the time.
Yeah, we actually, my favorite places are kind of near Termini because there's some decent metro stops and stuff that take us everywhere. So yeah. I think that's easy.
So Henry, back again, my friend. All right, Mark and Jocelyn, what do you guys think? Do you think you'll take Caleb and Liam camping in Patagonia, Argentina, or Chilean part of Patagonia? Have you guys been? I would take them there. I like going there. It's really nice, especially if we do some glacier stuff by there.
Like,
it's so gorgeous.
So up on doing camping and stuff like that. Liam's not quite yet, but he's young. In a few years, I think that would definitely be an awesome trip to do with our kids.
So Sam FW, what's the tour you should avoid in Rio? It's the favela tours. When you're going to the shantytown kind of parts of the city, they're people. They're not animals. So don't do those tours. It's not. You can't guarantee safety. And it's not really that nice for the people that you're going to go see. Let's see. We have not been to the Philippines yet. We have not been to Aruba, and those are both places we would love to go.
Courtney asks what it's like to go to countries where women are perceived differently than in the U.S. And
you can tell about Morocco.
And Morocco is definitely different. I try to be respectful. I stay with my husband and kids. Well, we do that anyway. We're pretty tight group.
She loves me.
Kind of. But you know what? I tried to be respectful and mindful of how I know it's going to be. And you kind of, you figure it out as you go, but and be smart about it. So yeah, that's my answer.
So Estathia Williams, I've actually answered your question like 3 other times already in this video, but I think it's a good one to go over again. She asks, how do you decide a home base when you're traveling around an area? You find the one that has the best connections for like going to places, and that has the easiest to get to all the place you want to go. That has enough stuff there that you can use as a base. And if you don't want to go anywhere for the day, you can just stay in that town and do that. Another person asks, is it better to stop in an Italy trip in Cinque Terre or in Naples? I would actually say stay in Sorrento and do the Amalfi Coast, which is by Naples. I would do that.
Cool
I would do that because then it's only a 2.5 hour ride up to Rome. You can fly out from Rome. So you have that. Adriana Vasquez, do you think the protests in France will continue through June? Probably. I would.
Viva la grève!
Yeah, but they're not as big as they used to be, so I wouldn't worry too much. Just know on Saturdays it's not going to be fun. Sam, yes, Stonehenge is worth it, but only like a half-day thing. So
LS, praise God, we have never had bed bugs. Just don't let it happen to me.
Yes, you haven't. I think I got him
once. Not since we've been married.
Yeah, it might have been Bolivia too. I mean,
good. That was before we were married.
Katniss, yes, gelato in Italy is really that
crazy.
Good. It really is insanely good, and you'll have crazy like lavender rose or something like that.
One of my favorites is dark chocolate and orange with a hint of cayenne pepper. What? That's what it makes me do every time. I take a bite and I'm like.
So, Pair One Study, have you ever been to Seattle, Washington? Yes, we have Love and Hates of Seattle video and what to eat in Seattle. One thing I will say, when you go to Seattle, Washington, you will see there's a lot of homeless people there. I mean, it's a really expensive place to live. Also, you'll smell a lot of marijuana. I mean, everywhere you go, especially like, it's kind of like when people get off work and they start lighting up. You won't smell any cigarette smoke, but you'll smell a lot of marijuana. So you have that. Adam Daniels, you're right. Illinois is better than Michigan State. Congratulations.
JCC Cast, thoughts on guided tours like Kentucky and Top Deck. So my only interaction with that was when I worked in Savannah and we had Kentucky tours came through all the time. Here's what I can say. If you are young and got a lot of energy and you really want to just go balls to the wall, can I say that? I just did. I didn't mean that.
We get banned from YouTube, people. You know what it was. Go on.
Anyway, it's a good fun kind of tour for young people. You'll meet friends, but that's my only interaction with those kind of tours.
So yeah, I haven't done some, but I would say with any tours you really need to read the reviews because there's tours for anybody, any niche kind of stuff. There's gonna be something for you, so make sure you're on the one that's right for you. Let's see. I have not been to Wyoming, but I have been to Canada. And we have a lot of videos on Canada. It's a good time, a good place to go, good people. Pacific Islands, we have not been to Fiji or Tonga. Hopefully one day we'll get there. Actually, Fiji Air had some really great deals last week or 2 weeks ago, but sadly we've already got pretty much our whole year booked for traveling, so we couldn't take advantage of it. So that's sad.
Should you travel somewhere with political unrest?
I would say I would look and see what kind of political unrest it is. Like, for example, we have two trips to France already scheduled for this year, and I'm not worried at all.
Not a bit.
But there's other places where I'm like, I don't know if I want to go.
It depends on how the political unrest is being handled by both the government and the people.
The unresters, so.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to do as much research as you can, because not all the news will give you all the facts and stuff. So you got to go for multiple news outlets to find everything out. I usually like going to like expat forums and stuff like that to see what's going on, because people ask questions, you'll get some more honest answers. They're kind of like people that are on the ground. Going back to Asia, we're trying to figure out when it's gonna be the best time.
What kind of beer are you drinking?
By Stefana from Germany. It's one of my favorite beers. Actually, probably my favorite one. There's that. Let's see. Oh, Jovan, I swear some places the gelato tastes better than the real fruit. I agree. That's why I have 6 servings of ice cream every day and only 2 servings of
Y'all,
fruit.
when we're in Italy, I'm not kidding. Our kids eat gelato 3 times a day. And I don't even care.
Yeah, we don't even care. Like, no, you need to have it again. We will. Let's see. How many days, Franco Rice, how many days do you recommend visiting Amsterdam? I'd say, a long weekend's a nice time. 3 days, you'll be fine. But I will say it's really expensive to stay in Amsterdam. You might look at staying like in Haarlem or Leiden, which are only like 20-minute train rides out, and you can stay at a place for like half the price. And honestly, think about it, 20 minutes and you're from the train station to train station, and it's so much cheaper and so much easier to do. So I would do that.
Josemar Quieros, which place surprised you most? For me, it was Nicaragua. Like, my mind was, it was blown. Like, pristine, beautiful beaches. Like, just, it was an awesome place. Ving.
Our neighbors have dogs that go crazy all the time.
Oh, so when the neighbor dogs go off, he loses his mind.
Yeah. So what parts of the Caribbean are you planning to see? Well, we're just in Belize. We're going to go Turks and Caicos, Jamaica. We got those ones set up. Probably going to try to do like Cuba and Cayman Islands later this year. So we're trying to get some more stuff. Anne asks, Northern Lights, where and when do you suggest? Go wintertime so you can guarantee you get a chance to see it. Otherwise, there's no guarantees. Farther north you can go is better. Like northern Finland's really nice. Lapland there is cool. If you're in Iceland, sometimes you can see them there too, so it's not really too much of a problem. Universal Reaper, hey, good to see you again. Guten Morgen. Alles gut. Yeah. Let's see. Dang it, they're all going too fast again. I have not been to Key West, Jennifer. Have you been to Key West?
No, but my girlfriend Jackie used to go there all the time. They did a bike ride down there, like choppers.
Yes, and we do speak a few languages here. Some Spanish and Portuguese and German, a little Italian, tiny bit of French, a little bit of Lithuanian. So some good times there. Ken's writes, do you want like Anthony Bourdain's shows? What I liked about Anthony Bourdain's shows is he would go in and show you like normal people.
So real.
Stuff. It was real stuff versus like a lot
BS.
of travel blogs and travel guides are like over beautifying it and overselling it. He's like, look, this is what it is. Yeah. That's one thing I was really nice. I was very sad that he is no longer with us.
He is. He was a cool guy. Like,
yeah.
I would love to sit down and chew the fat with him.
Yeah. So Finn writes, what's the longest you've been on vacation?
Vacation?
We do trips. We travel. Everywhere I go, I'm like, I got to figure out how I can film something. If I try to take a break, I'm like, no, I should make a video to help people with this. And so we do a lot of stuff.
So how long's our longest trip is maybe like 7 or 8 weeks usually. Yeah. Sometimes during the summer we do 7 or 8 weeks. But that's about the longest.
I think, yeah. So I guess, that's true. That would be vacation
right?
stuff. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a vacation for us, but for a normal human being, not part of the Wolters World clan, it would be a vacation.
Yes. I'm doing good, Universal Reaper. I'm doing good. Thanks, buddy. Let's see.
Can Machu Picchu be done in a long weekend? I think so.
Yeah, if you're flying to Lima and go there, just because the thing is, you're gonna go into Cusco, and Cusco's got the high elevation, get the altitude sickness.
Kick your butt.
They'll kick your butt, but Machu Picchu's so low, you won't have altitude sickness there. So as long as you get down soon enough, you should be okay.
Mark, did you ever backpack through Europe? Mark, did you ever leave Europe?
So, let's see, since 1994, I've been going to Europe.
Mark got stinky and carried a backpack for many, many moons. Oh, I mean years. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chaz writes, would you ever go to the Middle East? Yes, we are. We're going to be going there later this year, actually. So we'll be back there. What do you do with your dog when you're away? We actually have a house sitter that'll come stay here and watch him. Or if we're going away for sometimes we'll go to doggy daycare, but we have someone that looks after him. Sometimes Nana will watch him and stuff. So
we have in the past. Well, he had 2 summers where he had surgery, and so he had to recoup at the vets anyway. So
yeah, because
that worked out pretty well. He's asking to go potty.
Yes, he is the most expensive free dog you will ever find because he has 2 robo knees, but he's my boy. He's my little puppy. He's my 95-pound puppy that'll eat you if you get near me. But he's a good boy. Let's see. Is going to the Eiffel Tower worth it, Sam? If you get claustrophobic at all, no, it's not. So I wouldn't do that. Nicholas V, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Are the Roma and Florence passes worth buying? I say they're worth buying if you don't want to deal with the lines and you just want to have one thing that'll give you the transport pass. Then they're worth it. But I find that most of the time you're not going to enough museums to make a valid for the cost. But if you're going to do a lot of museums, yes, they are worth it. Jovan, I don't know what you're laughing for, but I'm glad you're laughing. We're from the U.S., Regina. What kind of dog is he? Well, he's outside peeing now. He is a Doberman and American Bulldog mix, so he's a big boy who likes to eat people. I just tell him he's a good boy for eating people. So we have that. Did you like Ecuador? Yeah, so we loved Ecuador when we were there. Chaz, we're going to Rwanda and Tanzania this year, and then we were just in Morocco a couple months ago. Have I ever been stopped by police in a foreign country? Yes, I have. By the militia in St. Petersburg, we got shook down. Well, I got shook down and some buddies of mine. Also in my dad's hometown, their police twice came to talk to me. Once they're like, because it was a pouring down rainstorm, so I parked on the other side of the road, like the wrong way, because it was just like a torrential downpour. You couldn't see anything. Ran to see my aunt, and the cops came for that. And then, like, the next time I visited my aunt, I was filming on their town square, and the same cop comes and is like, well, we got a report of a crazy man talking to himself. I'm like, there's a camera right there. He's like, I know what it is. We got to fill out the forms. I'm like, okay. But otherwise, no trouble with the cops. So that's nice. Best recommendation for someone flying for 15 hours. Man, we have a video on how to survive long haul flights. That'll be helpful.
I have something for that.
Okay.
When we went to Japan, I went to my local homeopathic natural food store, and I asked the woman for something, if she had anything to help with jet lag. When we got to Japan, I did this stuff by the book, and we got there, and I was like on it. I didn't have 5 minutes of jet lag. It was absolutely amazing. So go to somebody reputable and ask them about jet lag stuff. And it was all, I forgot the name. Something zone, maybe. Anyway, it was really, 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 really good.
Yeah. So we have a much love from Greece, Professor. Thank you. Actually, today I got to talk to a bunch of Greek students that were learning English in Athens from one of in the language school there. It was really nice to get to talk to some high school kids about travel and what perception of Greece is for non-Greek people. So that was kind of cool. Henry's back again. You guys mentioned Anthony Bourdain earlier, but do you guys watch Bizarre Foods with Amber Zimmern? I actually do. When I'm on the plane, I watch a lot of his stuff because I like it. He's a funny guy and he's open-minded about the stuff, so I do enjoy his shows. So that's nice there. Franco Cortez, thank you very much. Appreciate it. No question. Well, send me a question if we can answer something, but thank you so much for that.
Joseph is moving from Prague to Ohio in the summer. Good spot for 20-somethings. Where in Ohio are you going? Columbus would be
Columbus is cool.
Amazing.
Because that city is going to take care of you, man.
Full of all sorts of cool stuff for people from all ages. But like at 20, I would have loved to live in Columbus then.
Yeah.
But in general, they've got some great cities in Ohio.
Yeah. So Lonesome Crow, where's the best Christmas market for someone going to Germany in June? Rothenburg. You'll actually find some Christmas shops there. That's your only chance. Maybe there's a Christmas shop in Bamberg, but that's your best shot. Thank you, Adam Daniels. Very nice of you to put that in there, buddy. I appreciated that. Bird Pizza, is a $3,000 advertising class in Europe over the summer a waste of money? It depends the university. Read the reviews, see if it's worth it, and where you're coming from, to be honest. I don't know because I would need more information.
Adam Daniels.
Oh, you're going from Ohio to Prague. Oh, you're having a great time, man. You'll be fine. Joseph, you're all good, man. Don't worry about it. Prague's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Tons of video. I just put out a video on what to eat in Prague today, so you can find some good stuff.
Things to do.
Duck, beer, more beer. Pivo.
Duck.
Pivo. Remember, Pivo is beer.
Pivo.
Career advice for international studies majors with minor in German.
This dog is
You might look at doing some stuff with a foreign service, depending on the country you're from, like with like the State Department, stuff like that. There's a lot of opportunities for that. A lot of NGOs kind of stuff. The UN is always looking for people because if you minored in German, the UN's European office is in Vienna, so that could be something there to look into. So that would be something I kind of think about. Somian's OW. Hi, Mark. I'll visit Singapore this spring, and I can't decide what kind of hotel to book. Capsule normal. It's pretty pricey there, so I'm not sure. What I would probably do is I would split between the two because Capsule Hotels, for those of you who don't know, a capsule hotel is really like you are in a capsule. It's like almost like you're in a torpedo bed and then you go change outside, stuff like that. But the thing is you can save a lot of money staying there because it's a lot cheaper. What I would probably recommend, Somnians, is I would do like when you get in, have like a normal hotel room the first day because you want to get cleaned up and stuff like that. And then do a few days in the pods.
Are you saying split it?
Yeah, split it up and then go have another day to get taken out to save money. So then, because you do a couple days there and a couple days there in them, it's no big deal. But if you're going to stay the whole time, it might get to you in the end, okay?
I have also read some stuff about hostels there being pretty nice. So you may want to check into that as something to do.
So, hey, wait, my buddies.
Hey.
J&A, what's up? Hope Thailand's treating you well. If you're looking for another fun YouTube channel, check out On Travel. Check out Way Away. They're awesome. They're in Thailand right now. They're living there right now.
Cool.
So, hey, guys, great seeing your faces. Would you say London is on? Was sour this it? I'm not sure.
Something happened with the Thai.
Yeah, I think your type is. Are you having some Thai cocktails? I was actually.
What time is it there right now?
Well, he's they're up early because they're good people.
Right.
I would say we had a good time back in London. VidCon was actually okay. That was a cool thing to go. You guys might want to check out sometimes. But I'll write you guys some direct messages to tell you about it. So don't worry. But anyway, all the rest of you go check out Josh Nash. Oh, we got some other people up here.
Okay.
So. No.
Okay, so Ginger asks about taking her niece out of, you're taking her out of school for some time. So a couple weeks is tough. It would be awesome if you could split those weeks somehow. But you know what? We went in, had heart-to-hearts with our kids' teachers. We do it every year, and we talk about what our kids add to the class, and taking her out and her coming back with a lot of information is a big thing.
Yeah.
We've also asked, and some of our teachers have given our kids different
assignments,
projects and things. Caleb's got a few videos that he's done, like where the students ask questions about a particular place. Like the last one he did was Stonehenge. And so he had to research all of this and then do a presentation, which we then uploaded on YouTube. No. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can incorporate into that.
So OG writes, thank you very much for the super chat, by the way.
You.
How's the Avianca partnership working out? Any plans to expand to other airlines or media? So for those of you who know, Avianca Airlines, it's based in South America. They actually featured our videos on their flights for October and November this year. And the company that contacted us, like, oh, if we have other things, we'll get back with you. But we haven't anything yet. Hopefully we will, but we haven't had anything again since then. So there is that. Daniel Keaton, thank you very much for the super chat. That's really nice. Is Lake Abess a good place for a pic of Acropolis? It kind of, but make sure you have a long enough lens to get it in there because it's so really far away.
Yeah.
It's not. It looks cool when people have the drone footage and stuff, but it's not as cool as you think it's going to be. So if you're pressed for time, I'd say no. But if you got some good lenses and time, then I'd say yes. So you have that. Joseph, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy. Thanks for the vid, guys. Well, thank you for helping us out and supporting us.
Thanks for watching and good luck.
Thanks for watching. Thank you, all of you, for watching all these and supporting us and liking and watching those ads and clicking like and share and stuff like that. It really does make a really big difference for us.
Dallas, say how is Mont Saint Michel from Paris and traveling with kids?
Mont Saint Michel is cool to look at from a distance, and it's cool when you get up close, but it's packed all the time with tourists, even in the low season.
It is not my favorite place.
Yeah, so I used to go when Greg, stop losing your ball underneath there.
Stop throwing your ball underneath.
He keeps throwing his ball to like get us to go do stuff. So there's that. So that's one thing I would say. Okay, so Josh Nash. So they were asking. Was VidCon worth it? So I would say VidCon, for those of you who know, VidCon is a big YouTuber conference where they have like community stuff where fans can go and do things, but also they have like industry stuff and creator stuff to teach us creators how to do a better job. The 4 days I was there, the first day I went to 5 different presentations, of which 2 were worth it and 3 weren't. And so I was kind of like, man, why did I spend the money to come here? I'm not sure if it was worth it. Second day was awesome. I got to see some really great people. Hank Green from Vlog Brothers and Sideshow, he was there. Great presenter, good stuff. The Holderness family that do like the Christmas jammies and stuff like that. And they do all kinds of parody songs. They're really funny. And they were super nice. That was really cool. I saw a bunch of people that I knew, and that made it worthwhile. So it was good for that. So I'd say that. I'm actually going to go to the one in LA this year to learn some more stuff there. So, but Josh and Ashley, just send me an email. I'll give you guys the highlights of the stuff I learned. So there's those things.
Liam, can you help the dog with his ball?
So Robo Channer writes, do you prefer Hohenzollern or Neuschwanstein? I prefer Neuschwanstein just because it's so silly to look at. Clorox bleach works well with getting out those bad pit stains. And also driving in Italy. Renting a car in Italy, I would say no, it's not worth it. Their public transportation is so good, you can just get through that.
Train system, and they're fairly on time.
Yep. So next up, Franco. Hey, thanks for answering from Argentina. We appreciate it. Thank you very much for the super chat. That's very nice of you. And those who don't know, Argentina is a really cool place with really amazing food. Oh my God. So the steaks and the stuff is so good.
Right?
So Josh Heilig, $2 super chat. Thank you very much. We don't talk politics. This is a travel channel. Sorry. Moving on. I'm sorry. Tashina Peterson, what is the one thing that is a must see and do in Ireland? Going to a pub and listening to live music.
Oh,
It's
live
amazing.
music.
Or
My favorite
some
thing
more.
is just to drive around.
Or yeah, just drive
Ireland.
around because
Just
the
soak up the tiny little towns and villages
yeah,
are like that is
Kinsale's
so.
amazing. Kilkenny. We
It's
saw so many great little
awesome.
towns, so
Yeah.
it's just fantastic.
It's a good place to go.
So the dog's going crazy, so we're gonna have to go on. We've been on about an hour and 15 minutes. So we got a few more questions in here that we're gonna have to take off. So Anthony has a question here. What would your suggestions be for a 1 or 2 week solo trip in Paris in October? Would stay in a hostel be safe? Best locations to stay. Also, would Bruges work more as a day trip or overnight? Bruges would be an overnight, and I would say overnight go see Bruges and Ghent. Those are both really cool. Don't waste your time in Brussels.
And you can squeeze them both in an overnight.
Yes. So with that one, for the 1 to 2 week one, based in Paris, then I do Paris, do some day trips from there, and then you can go to like the Loire Valley. You go down there and see the chateaus there. Go up and see some stuff in Belgium. Heck, you can go to Amsterdam too because of the fast trains. So
the fast train's awesome to
that part of Europe
Amsterdam.
is your oyster when you're there, so you'll be fine.
Oh, and have oysters while you're there.
The oysters are in
They're in Normandy, but
Normandy,
they
that's on the
they
other
put them
side,
into
so.
Paris and like.
yeah. Kids in Spain, yes. Southern Europe is great with kids because people will like love kids down there, and so they're treated really nice. Whereas some places, like more Northern Europe, you're not special if you have kids, even though they don't have any kids. But they're like more, you're taking your kids, it's a hassle. Where in the South, they're just happy you bring your kids. And they're like, we'll take your kid, you go eat and have a romantic meal. We're going to show them how to make pasta, which is what our kids did. And Spain is kind of the same thing too, so there's nice.
What's the most beautiful thing you've experienced during your journeys or travels?
Which one?
Akli Krishna. What's the most beautiful thing you've experienced during your journey or travel? You know what? For me, it's the time together. It's us. I mean,
because you get
in the different
devices,
places.
The devices are gone a lot of the times.
It's the four of us, and we get
No
to see
distractions.
amazing places and be in the midst of history and culture and all sorts of things, which just heighten what's going on between the four of us. And so for us, it's traveling as a family. That's what makes a beautiful place exceptionally beautiful.
Yep.
That's a terrible answer. I'm sure you were looking like, oh, the Eiffel Tower, the Acropolis, or you know what, Machu Picchu. But that for me, it's us.
Yeah. So TJ Compton, taking the family to Belize in a few months. Anything the kids won't enjoy? Maybe driving around because it's a little bumpy if they have like little tummies. But our kids loved it. They like Liam, like you said earlier. Liam wants to go back there in Guatemala for his birthday next month. So
we had a great time. We did a snorkel tour for we swam for at least 2 of the 3 hours.
Bye,
the
Henry.
kids ate up every minute of it. Good night.
Oh, hey, check out the Dome Under tour in Utrecht. We're actually going to be staying in Utrecht this
the
summer.
Dom. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that.
That's
Zvish,
cool.
Zviche? There's no
I don't know
hat
what
on
that
it, but
is.
thank you.
But that's cool. The Romans in Utrecht. We're going to do that.
Yep. So, last one. Best city you would never be tired of going back to in Europe. I have so many. I don't know what to say. Like, I can always go back to Prague. I can always go back to Paris. I can always go back to London and
Paris,
Lisbon
London, Rome,
and Madrid
Athens,
and Sevilla.
the Metaki.
And no, oh God, no. I'm
Shut
not
up.
going back to Montauk.
It won't always be cold. I want to take a
Cold.
picture
It was
of that.
115 degrees. That's not cold.
I mean, hot. Good grief, y'all.
All right. Well, okay. So there was one super chat that just came in before I turn this off. So Francisco, thank you very much for the super chat. We really appreciate it. I have 2 weeks in Greece. What city should I visit? Okay, so you want to fly into Athens and see that. Also, going to Nafplio, the former capital, which, I mean, a long time ago was the capital, but that's another really cool place to do. And you hike up to the museum and the castle way up on the hill. That's cool. Go into if you're going to go to any of the islands, go to Rhodes, Crete, and Santorini. Right there's your 2 weeks, no problem. You have a really good time with that. So eat well, drink well, and have fun. And we want to wish you all a very good night or good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. It's 9:20. We've been on for about an hour and 20 minutes now. And I have to go to work in the morning. And I have no idea what I'm teaching. So
I have to go to the gym.
Yeah, see, she's the smart
Hugs.
one. So
200
thanks,
push-ups.
everybody. There you go.
Hugs. See y'all
And
later.
See y'all later. Thank you very
Safe
much,
travels.
everybody. And until next time, happy
Bye.
travels. Bye.